What is the objective of integration testing? The objective is to verify that the interfaces between different parts of system, they work good. When is integration testing performed? Integration testing is the second level of testing performed after unit testing and before system testing. Next question, who performs integration testing? Developers, as I told you before, they themselves write the test cases for the developers themselves, they do the integration testing. They write the cases for integration testing, or again they can write the test cases and they can use some automated tools to run the integration testing. But essentially here, by who we means, is this the developer or the user, or can it be third party also? That third party is also called independent testers. For integration testing, any one of the developers or the third party testers, they can perform integration testing. What are automated tools which are available with you for integration testing? This is a good list, but again, this is not the all. This is some of the major software tools that you can use for integration testing, including Citrus, Easy Scripts, Fitness, Jasmine, LDRA, Pioneers JS, and so on. Some are for specific for some of the language. For example, Spoke for Java, as the name tells you, this is for Java. Vectorcast, it is for C++. So while you are choosing the tool for your software, make a proper selection with respect to the tools which are available for your language. After the integration testing, the next level is system testing. In system testing, you are checking now the overall output of your system. So before starting of the system development, of course, you had requirements. Very first thing that you will be testing in system testing is, are all the requirements met? There will be a list of requirements. First of all, check all the requirements are met. Then check the requirements for different inputs and for under different events. Of course, in different timings, the input to your software will be different. Different data may be given as an input. For example, if you are processing data, then at different time intervals, different data will be given as input to your system, and so should you check your software by giving different data inputs, different stress inputs, different number of users, and so on under different events, and see the outcome of the whole system. Here are some of the major types of system testing. In system testing, the first thing starts from the requirements. After the requirements, you will be checking security, you will be checking scalability, you will be checking how the installation of your software works, checking even the documentation. This is also very important, because all the time you will not be sitting inside your client's office and explaining them the things. You must write all the working of your software as documentation, and that documentation is provided as a part of delivery of the software to the client. Recoverability testing, how easy is it to recover from the failure of your software in case, of course, there are several cases when software fails. Load testing and stability testing. These are the major types of system testing. The next and the fourth type of functional testing with us is user acceptance testing. In user acceptance testing, as the name tells you, this testing will be done by the user or the client for whom you have developed the software. The user will check. It starts from the development. Of course, this is not done by you. Then the quality assurance. The development is done by the developer, not by the user. The process. This shows the process that first development is done. Then the quality assurance inside the software house, inside the company who developed the software, they assure the quality, and they take different measures, including testing is one of them. Then is the user acceptance testing. User tests the software, and then the software is deployed, installed into the actual working environment that is called the production environment. All right, we have different type of tests we have seen. What are the different type of tests and what are their targets? What is tested in each test? It's written here in this slide. This is very lovely slide. You are also going to love it. So the process starts from unit testing, and then at module level. So module may have more than one units. Then is integration testing, then system testing, then acceptance testing. This level is extra, just a more granularity. Yani this picture is dividing your unit testing into two parts, smaller units and bigger modules. So each module may have more than one units, may have more than one classes, may have more than one functions working together. At unit testing, the target is class level testing. In module testing, the target is the component or module or the package design. In integration testing, the target is to test the overall interfaces of the modules with each other, or this is called the architecture. In system testing, the overall objectives of the systems are tested. In user acceptance testing, the target is to test the requirements, whether the requirements have been met, whether the objectives have been met, is the architecture correct, is the component or package design fine, are the individual classes working fine. So these are the targets of different tests. Not going next. So one important factor while you will be doing your testing is to consider the cost. Of course, more than one people are involved in your testing. Of course, it takes time. So how it is with respect to the cost on the development organization? See this picture. This graph shows you different stages and the cost which is incurred on it. Implementation stage, unit testing stage, integration testing, system testing, and user acceptance testing. It is written here as in service, yani it is in actual working environment. The minimum cost is on implementation. Then the cost increases, higher cost in unit testing, even higher cost in integration testing. The cost is increasing at a higher rate, and we call this curve as exponential curve. So you see the cost in increasing at an exponential rate, yani increasing very speedily as you go to the every next stage. So the cost of testing, system testing, is higher than the integration testing, which is higher than the unit testing. So at every next stage, if you find the errors, then correction of that error, because the objective of testing is to find bugs. If we are successful in finding bugs, it means our testing is successful. But this is not a good sign that we find some bugs. If we find bugs, it means we have to correct the bugs. we are correcting the bugs after the implementation, it is going to incur a lot of time. It is going to take a lot of time, and definitely time is money. A lot of human resources will be involved. So the cost of finding the defects will be much, much higher. Who are the people? Okay, not. It will come next. What is the time when we start our software testing? Actually, the software testing, people think that usually this is the misconception, and the word in English we use myth, that is the misconception. This is the myth that the people think software testing is done at the end of the software. This is wrong. Software testing starts even right from the first activity, because in the first activity we start from requirements engineering, requirements elicitation or requirement design, from functional specification. Then we come to the implementation, then the code is complete, then we check the code. From the first phase of requirement elicitation or requirement design, let me write here, requirements elicitation or requirements engineering. At that time, we do our testing in the form of taking the acceptance of what requirements you have understood from the user. It must be tested with the user, that it means the verification of the user should be done. For functional specification, functional test cases should be written, and at that time it should be tested whether the functions that you have written are the all and are required by the user. In implementation, unit test cases are done, and in code completion, when the code is complete, the test cases are executed.